Hi guys, my name is Ochuko and welcome to BP Talks. Today I have in the studio Miracle SAG, Marketing and PR Lead Hydrogen. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much, Ochuko, for having me.
It's so interesting that I have you here. So we're going to have a fantastic ride. Very, very simple conversation. I just want you to be as free as possible. But first of all, give us a little bit of background about how you stepped into marketing.
Some people say that they're passionate about marketing and, just got one brilliant idea and he was like, this thing are wrong with it. Guys, I was the least passionate. In fact, I didn't even know what marketing was. And I would explain to you, right? I read microbiology in school.
What's going on here? Hold on. Let me shock you. Let me shock you. Now, the previous guest you had on the show, she's the head of marketing in our own company. Mm-hmm. She also read microbiology. Guess what's also interesting? I read microbiology. We can imagine. This is okay.
So we are currently reading microbiology.
Wow.
You might be tilted to marketing. Anyways, so in 300, you understand what I'm saying? So in 300 level, we usually do IT, right? And I was so good at food microbiology. I wanted to be Dora Queen. I kept saying to everyone, I would lead NAVDAC one day. I would be Dora Queen. I used to watch her on TV so much, like I was fascinated. And I was very good at food microbiology. So I now had to look for internship placement. I was looking, I looked and looked and looked. When I went to the manufacturer, the FMCGs, right, they was tell me they're looking for food scientists. I was like, but I'm a microbiologist. Food microbiology is one of the courses now. They said, no, they need food scientists. And I was sweet. Okay, let me try hospital since you guys don't want me here. Hospital said they were looking for lab scientists. So I was literally floating. And I'm like, hospital, you don't want to. FMCGs don't want me. If I leave school with this, and this is all I do, that means I will be jobless now. So I started thinking. I stumbled on a Facebook post that was talking about the future of works and things like that. So I started to read. What would job look like in 5 years? This was what? Maybe 12 years ago, I'm not sure. I started looking at what work look like in 5 years. And I was saying digital marketing, social media, It's like, what is this? There are a lot of that. I saw AI, things like that, coding. I don't like to code. Everybody knows that. Well, I was very interested in this one that was no code, but it's going to be relevant in the future, right? So I took a course on Google, digital marketing skills, and that was when I was in my NYC. After that, I started looking for where to intern. Internship journey is I saw Shiggy try to get where to intern. But finally, I stumbled on an agency. I interned and I grew there. And that was how I started marketing.
Wow.
So marketing found me.
You just stumbled on it.
Right.
What was the first shot at marketing like? Maybe the first year.
Work. I hated it. I was like, is that what you people do here? Okay, I think I went through different stages. The first stage was excitement stage. I was like, oh my God, I get to work with brands. You do your design, you see your brand in the supermarket. And like, yeah, we did this design in our agency. You see your ads on the billboards. Yes, we did this in our agency. But when you work there, pilot, take one company, take another one, take another one. Hey, it's not now that you guys are doing soft life marketing with ChatGPT and all this. We were writing captions.
Wow.
From our head.
Some things are not easier now.
We were writing captions. We were designing on Canva. We were doing all the. Oh no, this was a lot. I was like, this is work. And guess what? How do you explain to your parents when you're doing? So they're just seeing you are just pressing computer. But yeah, what? They're like, you're not doing that. You're not going like. You're not doing anything physical, right? Yeah. And it's work. My first I'm serious. So people are crazy here. But I loved it.
Wow. It's quite interesting you mentioned that, it became tough at some point. That means that you started off from the agency side of things. Do you want to speak a little bit of how that formed the person that you are now?
I would always say to people that when you want to start marketing, start from an agency.
Why?
Because to be a solid marketer, you need to understand a bit of everything. And you get to do that in agencies. So by that, I mean, you'll do social media. You'll do digital, Google, the Meta, the whatever. You do PR. You do design. You would do website management at some point. You do different layers, especially if you're someone that is open to learning and you're not someone like, oh, I was hired for design and design I'll do alone, right? It just grounds you. And not just that you will touch different aspects of marketing, you will touch different sectors and different industry segments. So I went from FMCG to real estate to law to finance. You know, you learn the nuances of these different sectors. So when it's time for you to work or get into the client side, you find out that it becomes a breeze. Most people that come from agencies think we don't work in client side. That's the truth. It becomes a breeze.
But you know, agency work is tough. If you're in the agency space, it's tough, particularly when, you know, of course you have targets. You consistently have targets to meet in one client's client, especially if you are an account manager. It can be really, really, you know, difficult
You don't
for you to manage. But I want to ask you an interesting question.
Okay.
Did you run away from the agency side or you evolved to the client side? I'll be honest. Be as honest as you can.
I loved working at the agency.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing boss. It was great. I don't know what you want to hear from my boss. I now moved to the client side. The end.
So we don't know if you ran away
The end of the
or
story.
you evolved.
I'm sure.
But we shall know that now you are in the client side of things.
Thank you, and God
Okay.
bless you.
So from the client perspective, what's work there like compared to the agency side of things in reality for you?
I wouldn't say it's easy because there's work everywhere. But from the client perspective, you begin to see marketing beyond metrics.
Mm.
You begin to see marketing beyond likes, comments.
Mm.
You begin to see marketing as, is this a cost center? Is this a profit center?
Mm.
How does this affect the bottom line? What business lines are doing? So you begin to look at it from a business perspective. You're thinking of it as, whatever I'm doing, how does this translate to naira and cover for the company?
Mm.
So for agencies, we're just, pushing. We're not really involved in the the bottom line and the way numbers work in these companies. But here you're still in MPRs. You're hearing this business line is doing this business line is doing that. So you're knowing, okay, which strategy should I develop to push XYZ that is bringing the cash cow? So you're not just doing marketing like for marketing's sake. You're having to justify every naira cost.
Very interesting. I want to say that you are in the you're in the financial space.
Yes, I am.
Right. And what's your payments? What's the peculiarities of financial campaigns compared to? I know many people will say there are a few differences here and there, but you are in that space.
Right.
And speak from someone who has worked with different brands on the agency side. Now you are a bit, you've been a bit focused on, financial campaigns. What's the peculiarity there compared to other brands?
Right. So I tell people that vanity metrics no longer freaks. So people say to me, Miracle, I don't see hydrogen everywhere. Hydrogen is supposed to be everywhere. I'm like, you're not my audience. I don't need to speak to you. Right? In the payment side, especially for the kind of payments we do, there are different kind of payments that you're speaking directly to the consumer.
Yeah.
If you're speaking directly to the consumer, brand awareness is key. You need to be in the billboards. You need to be in the media, But if you're doing payments such that you're speaking directly to businesses and to FIs, not just businesses, high net worth businesses and financial institutions and other financial institutions. You don't make buying decisions from social media. So why do I need to waste money there? So I'm now fintech marketing is now, especially from my side, is very, very strategic. You're not just throwing money, you're throwing money to courses that convert, right? Because you also need to stay profitable as a company. Because during a course, during my MBA days, and people were like, my colleagues were like, oh, they're tired of marketing having to justify every ad spend. Especially if agency, you guys just see the money. But we in the client side, before we get to for example, to push a market, we have to do justification. And that justification is quite a lot because you have a lot of convincing to do, right? And that is because ROI is very important. Your likes and comments, how does it translate to our bottom line? It's very, very important. So you don't have to be extremely strategic to different kind of nuances and outreaches that will help you meet your targets. this is our case, right? So you not do things for just doing it.
So someone listening to you right now, maybe asking a question that, how do you balance this with top of mind awareness?
That's the point. Not every brand needs to be top of mind.
So what you're saying is that some
Are you top of
places,
mind? I will explain. Are you top of mind for the people that care? So am I top of mind for an access? You being? That's the decision makers, yes.
So what you're saying that those are the people that you're supposed to be reaching. So are you saying that because these businesses have individuals in the businesses that are key decision makers?
Yes.
Would you rather not also have a percentage of your awareness also going to individuals, because individuals should be working in the businesses?
We speak to individuals. We are not business is not. You're not talking to a building as marketing.
Right.
You're always talking to somebody.
Right.
Now, I would explain this to you as there's a primary audience and there's a secondary audience and there's a tertiary audience.
Of course.
So my primary audience can be the CEO of a bank.
Right.
Right. My marketing focus, aggressive, everything we do is to speak to that CEO of the bank. Right. Where will he be?
Right.
How that's the question. Yes. Yeah. How do I, draft things that within the trails of his day, somewhere he will become hydrogen. Right? That's important. Now, there's now the secondary. Those that are not CEOs, or like the managers, they work in the companies. Yeah. They can say, have you heard of these guys? Yeah. Where would they be? We're still on these social media platforms. We're still pushing, awareness campaigns, things like that. We still do them. We still do billboards once in a while because we're trying to speak to those managers. They're like people like you that are just business owners, or you and I, that if you know it's good to know, we would not go out of our way to speak to you, but we'll still try to meet you one or two places that you'll be. That's why if you're going to a mall, you could see our billboard there. We don't necessarily need you to do anything for us, but we know that there's a company called Hydrogen. So I would say that as marketing people, we try to speak to every and anybody. I always say to people that to hack marketing, you just need to do two things. One, what makes me different from every other person in the market? And secondly, who am I speaking to? Drive your campaign and speak to that person like there's no tomorrow. Everything you're pushing out to it like you're speaking to just that one person. And every other thing can be secondary.
Well, sometimes, you got to a point where you realize that vanity, you said, of course, there's vanity metrics, yes. Right? Vanity metrics, likes, comments, those things that people would literally die to have. You go to a point that you realize that this is not the real thing I'm looking for. At what place, at what point did you get it? What happened? What experience? What failed campaign? What what happened to you that brought that realization?
That's the beauty of working with the client side. You've done a beautiful work. I mean, 12 years. You've done a beautiful work. You've brought it to the decision maker. And you're saying to them, just run this campaign. You had 50 million views. We had 50,000 comments. And they're looking at you like you're talking nonsense. Like, especially people that have boards to report to talk about bottom line. What's happening here? You're telling them I have 50,000 comments. That's nonsense. That's bullshit. Okay, your 10,000 views and your 1 million comments and your whatever. How did that translate to Naira?
This is something that not just so. Now, you don't need to be. This is interesting because you don't necessarily need to be in the client side to know this. You can know this. This is information.
But my issue with agency people is, again, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I've been there. My guys have been there because they don't sit down in this conversation when it comes to numbers. They don't understand what I'm saying to them. That they don't care about your likes and they are nice to haves, but I care about lead generation. I'm not just ordinary lead generation. What are the quality of leads you're generating from me? You want to put me at this? I see people pitching to me all the time. You need to be at these events. They're sending me decks and things like that. I'm like, have you even read my business? What am I going to this event to do? My target audience is not there. So whether you're an agency or a client, you need to take it further to understand businesses. Understand what is their unique selling point. That's why I said to hack marketing, you just need two things. Unique selling point, who are they speaking to? You discover that you stop bringing wrong proposals. Because I see proposals, I'm like, this person did not even do the basic work as I'm going to my website. Because if you see my website, you see my number one business is my switching service. How am I going to an event that has a gathering of let me not say something.
Yeah. I like where you're going to, because you're speaking to not just even the agency side or the business or the client side. You're speaking to even the young lady who just got an idea to open a jewelry shop, or to open, a fashion collection, right? And a lot of people right now are crazy about numbers. They want to get a lot of views online, even going as far as getting a lot of collaborations with influencers. And this leads me to the next question that I want to ask you. Even though you've talked about this downplays the other side, which is the efforts that creators the effort that creators put in to get a lot of engagement. Right. Now, top of mind is important.
Okay. We preach it all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
But are you saying that it's not for every business?
Top of mind too. If you sell footballs and you're top of mind to me, you're wasting your marketing spend. I don't care. So top of mind is good, but are you top of mind to your buyer? That's why it annoys me now that brands are chasing virality. You see,
why do you think you're chasing virality?
Because they think virality converts, and that's a myth.
Do you think it will convert for some businesses?
Maybe 10% of them, but not everybody. And again, it depends on what you're viral for.
So
I'll give you an example. I sell interior design. I do interior design as a service. And I go on TikTok and I'm dancing. There's a new sound that comes out. I'm dancing in a fine place. TikTok. There's something I follow. She says TikTok children. TikTok children will not come and buy. Will not come and buy a couch that is 3 million naira.
Okay, that's another side to the conversation.
But you're dancing. You're like, oh my God, this space is beautiful. And they're flooding your DMs. And you tell them you want chairs 3 million. They will laugh and move away. But did you get 100 million views? You did. So virality is a myth. When you understand how things translate to Naira and Kobo, you leave all these things and actually focus on being top of mind to your buyer. That's all I'm saying. So
we're saying is top of mind is good, but it has to be specific to who you're chasing.
And you said something that's also very important, influencer marketing. Somebody will come out now and they'll be like, oh, I want to partner with this influencer, that influencer. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Immigrate podcast. In fact, I just even made a post about it yesterday. I do not listen to category. If you ask me for one of her songs, I do not know what it sounds like, right? But I just saw the podcast and it caught my interest because she's trying to start a business. I like to pick the brains of people that start new business. And she said something that product is very important. That's another conversation. We're on the influencer side. It doesn't matter what she sells. Even if she's selling the crappiest things, people will buy it because she's Cardi B. But will they buy the second time? No. So you can go to an influencer that is loved, adored. People buy it once. Your numbers will do great once. Will they buy it the second time? That's why community over variety.
Community over variety. Speak a bit about that. Speak to us.
So when I say community over variety, I mean build a community of people that genuinely like your business. Your business is genuinely for them. They connect to it. Like you've connected with them on an emotional level. Mm-hmm. Your product has become ingrained in their day-to-day use. Those people will not buy once, they'll buy twice, buy 3 times. Same way, the people that have hacked this thing well is FMCGs. Those have become engraved. Mm-hmm. Those will not come and be doing. Yes, they will do influencer marketing to stay top of mind and things like that. But you're not buying it because of the influencers. You're buying it because of the brand. You get to a point where people are not purchasing your product because of who you have used. They are purchasing your product because of you as a brand.
We also hear people say that, oh, fantastic, but who's using them? I don't hear about them. Doesn't that affect the convincing power when you're trying to get a client on board?
So that I would explain to you. Again, top of mind is important. People should not listen to this podcast and say, oh, I don't care. My question is to who?
Right.
Now, you as a business owner, you sell wristwatches that are 3 million naira per one, right? Maybe because I've done a lot of B2B, so I think very high numbers, right? You sell the wristwatch that is 3 million naira. But the bank CEOs know, senior levels in these companies, they know you are these excluded small polo events,
So you're just known
golf
to those
events.
specific people.
You're in that golf event, you're in that polo event, you're in that airline, you're in that H&I meeting. Then someone like me, let me use myself as an example. A commoner on the street or the Okada guy. You now mention your name of the brand. I don't know you now. Why care?
Interesting.
I'm not buying now.
You just came from an angle right now. And the reason why I'm saying I'm having this conversation is looking a little bit interrogatory, but it's for a reason.
Yes.
And that's because a lot of people don't know the right metrics to chase.
Right.
Do you understand? But I want to take this conversation to another level, and that is route to market, right? Or route to market, right? What's your favorite route to market strategy?
There's no one, because it's very peculiar.
I'm asking this question because you're in the financial space, right, and you sell a lot of products, right? So, is there one, because of your space, is there one that seems to be the game changer for all?
The only perfect go-to-market strategy anybody can deploy is a good product. That
was interesting.
Have a product that is so good that marketing will just be an add-on. You can deploy the best go-to-market strategy, and the second people download the app or use the thing, is falling apart, is scattering, is doing this. They won't come back. In fact, they will solve the brand. So I would say the best go-to-market strategy is a good product.
We have a lot of people that have good products, but it's not doing so well anymore.
Good product too. I don't want to delve into product side. If you develop a good product, right? When good product means good marketing, it's a match made in heaven. But I will not come here and I will tell you, take it to social media, take it to PR, the PR sites, do interviews, do blogs, do this. Because there's no one size fits all. And that's the problem I have with marketing people. They try to copy, paste. It's good to take learnings and nuances from, I learned this in the past based off working at this. We also need to research. Getting people becoming so lazy. A brand comes to you. Okay, we'll create a social media account for you. Create a website for you. We create a store for you. We put you on PR, on this day, You do videos. Like, we're just rinsing, repeating. While this can work to an extent, but it's different when you sit down and research the brand. Look at the competitors globally. How are they speaking? How are they talking? What? It's also there in the nuances of how you storytell, because storytelling is the core of marketing, emotional connection, right? How you what kind of story you tell around this brand. The way Nike will sell is different from the way an Adidas will sell, and they're in the same markets. So we need to do that research, the nuances. What can I tweak? So if you're waiting for me to tell you, okay, you have a good product, social media account, open website, I won't tell you that, because there's no one size. You have to sit down and analyze the market. When you start look at the market, you're like, okay, the market on the table is 10 billion people. How many percentage are you looking to attract? If you're just looking to attract 0.1% of the population, we'll trickle it down. That's 1.1% of the population. Where can they be found? What do they do on a day-to-day basis? How does this product ingrain into their daily lives? What will make them emotionally? So this kind of things. So why I would say the best go-to-market strategy is a good product.
So you have an opportunity right now to do some form of correction. You have the opportunity right now to call out some things. And I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
You've been in marketing for a while. You've seen a lot of brands. Right. Some come and go. Some are currently on the radar. What's one thing you've noticed brands are doing in Nigeria in terms of marketing that you believe can be better? They are not getting right. There's a misconception around it that they consistently do, and you want to speak to it.
Virality and jumping on trends. Everybody thinks, that's what I'm saying. Something comes out, it's funny, and you just want to jump on it as a brand. Does it, like, I get that you get the likes and the comments, but is that true to your brand? It's just like, oh, you're a shoemaker, and tomorrow, because they said pilots are amazing, you don't want to go and dress like a pilot. If they give you a plane, you will crash the plane. So, yes, virality is good. These things that come on and go out is good. But are they innate to you? Like, do they tell with your brand voice, your words, into things like that?
This is so important. I want to ask you a question now, and I want you to answer with every form of honesty. Okay? You're in the financial space.
Not yet.
What's your approach to highly negative sentiment or backlash on social media?
I'm laughing, but it's not funny. So, again, do we agree? Can we agree that there's no one size fits all?
Okay. Except you explain what that means.
So there's no blanket answer.
Okay.
There are some that a good customer service person, you don't have a 24/7 customer support. For example, they're saying, my money, like what we get, what the industry gets, your money has not come to me. You guys are trash. My money has been hanging for this, that. That one is you have to have a good support team that's saying, okay, let me handle this from you. Give us your code, responding in real time because it's money. You need to deal with where their money is, right? That one is good. But if it's someone coming to call out your brand for one of these, I don't know, just someone's coming to say your brand did this thing that you guys did not do. Do you understand? I don't want to go into detail, but you get what I mean. Sometimes you don't need to say it, but business as usual. Do you know why? When you now respond, you bring attention to what does not need to get attention.
So are you saying that sometimes response is the best answer?
Silence is the best answer. Yes, I'm saying that because next 2 seconds, another news will come out and they'll forget about you. But if you say something and you didn't say it well, it's true. As long as you're sure that you guys are innocent, that's all.
I'm a sticker for be quiet, right? Also, we also need to look at the fact that there are some instances that may require the brand to speak up. Otherwise, you would assume that it would be seen that their silence is acceptance.
I get. You will know as a brand person. That's what I'm saying. There's no one side. You will know when it's time. But if it's all these small things, also it'll be fine.
How do you bring credibility with younger audiences who are skeptical about financial institutions?
You have to use it now.
So let me
Let's paint the picture.
Let me say this, right? Right now we see that OP, Pumping, they have an ecosystem, right? Yeah, you're frowning your face because I understand. But
you're my clients.
They have an ecosystem, right? And this is not just a question speaking to where you're working at, but it's for maybe anybody who is gradually trying to build something, right? So you understand that people literally like to affiliate it to a brand that they can trust.
Yes.
Right. Now it's more interesting in the financial service.
Yes.
Right. And young people, man, the moment you are a young boy like community, once one big guy in those you go for it. How do you get to build trust? You can be speaking to any guy who is working on any project. So
I would say, especially for financial institutions and younger generations, to make the barrier to entry very simple. Young people don't like 10, 20, 50 steps. They want to enter smoothly. You also want to make it very transparent and visible. So by that I mean, I have a bank account, that's in quotes. You should be able to enter your platform at any time and see your money, just like you enter a traditional bank is there. You also want to make sure that your uptime is almost 100%. So you don't want to be crashing. That's why startup is extremely important. Your uptime has to be 101%. And that's why the new guys, the OPSC, because they have amazing uptime, right? Then if you now want to crack the nuts like a piggyverse, I love that word. Storytell. So a lot of people underestimate founder story. So God led you to start it. How do you start it? How does this product connect to them every day? I see a lot of people, using influencers to market their new fintech product. That's people that, the influencer today has marketed clothes, brand, shoes. Tomorrow you're marketing this, that. No, it's not. It's not bad. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's good to diversify that. You're going to have, that. But you also want to align people that are thought leaders in that space. That when they speak about this, especially as someone in the finance space, you know that for that kind of person to put their voice behind it, it has to be good, and not just someone that just collected money and wants to talk about it's
true.
Yeah.
True. A lot of fintechs have come and gone in the last 5 years.
Yes.
Some got funding, and then some story or the other. Now, the question I want to ask you is, as someone in the marketing space, please again be honest.
I'm always honest.
What could they have done better in terms of marketing? I'm not talking about pre-sales, right? We're not talking about, because now, some people went out of business and their consumers or customers did not know what happened. Some people went out of, just went off. I don't want to measure sometimes.
I know it. Trust me.
Right? What could you have done better?
Ken, is marketing, pay close attention to the bottom line. Don't just think you want to sponsor one big program. You shall not be program. Just on the spot, and you're thinking, these people that watch it, how do they translate to Naira and Kobo? Like, can you be so invested in seeing a business grow and succeed, and not just your numbers? If you're invested in seeing a business grow and succeed, then you'll be fine if they don't give you that budget, because at this time, company cannot afford it or it won't translate. So I would say marketing people, those finance guys, they should be a friend. If you're an LPRs, you sit down with this, ask questions. You did this campaign. Okay, what was the, result of this campaign? If it's not going, don't come down from your high horse. Change strategy, right? And it doesn't mean you are a failure, because we learn that people are constantly changing. Marketing is one of the most difficult places to work in, because my interest yesterday is not my interest today, and you're still trying to speak to me. So it means that I'm changing. So your strategy can change, and you're not a failure. It just means that the market is moving.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to play the game with you. It's called this or that. So you tell me which you prefer. Okay. All right. Organic growth or paid ads?
Organic growth anytime, any day.
I'll ask you this one. For to make you smile. Okay. TikTok virality or Instagram aesthetics? So
that's a very good one. That's a difficult one.
I don't catch on.
That's a very difficult, because Instagram. What do you mean by Instagram aesthetics?
So, the Instagram aesthetics,
with my 2 followers, but TikTok virality with like 1 million followers. I'll take that one now. I know I've pushed the game virality.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen,
but your aesthetics.
You would explain. All right, so influencer marketing versus community building.
Yeah.
All right, SEO versus performance ads.
Organic is always better. SEO. Optimize your search.
Okay, so we'll do one.
Okay.
Content is king versus distribution is king.
It's a very good question. In today's day, you can have the best content, which is king. But if you don't put it well, that content can become slave. So, because I'm a marketing professional, I will say content is king.
Thank you much.
Because I'm a marketing professional.
Wow. Miracle, thank you so much. It was fantastic to have you on today's show, the PP Podcast. Guys, if you watched it up until this point, I beg you play it again. There's a part you did not hear. You realize when you play it again, you realize that you begin to hear some more parts that brought you here to my name is Ochuko, and we'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends to watch more episodes to come. Cheers.